And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with the LATAM League finals with our initial best of 7. And again, a big shout out and congratulations to Mute for becoming our first LATAM League champion. But now we have returned. We've returned with something a little bit different, something a little bit special. We returned with the LiuLi Cup 40 best of 7 show match. Here we go, another best of 7. This is an invitational show match here. LiuLi Cup, they are a semi-regular tournament organized by LiuLi, aka Saber. He does create these invitationals on a semi-regular basis, and sometimes, you know, they're like an 8-player bracket single elimination, sometimes they're a 4-player round-robin group stage, sometimes 4-player GSL group, sometimes just an invitational like this, just a best of 7. But there's a bit of a twist here. As you can see, the races are different. As you can see just below me here, Scarlett is not playing Zerg, herO is not playing Protoss. Instead, we have an off-race show match. Now again, we have casted herO's Terran before. herO's Terran is around 6k or just above 6k on the Korean ladder. When it comes to Scarlett, she was the OG race switcher. Before Clem played Protoss, before Raynor played Protoss, before it was cool to off-race as Protoss at the pro level, Scarlett did so first. Many years ago, back in Heart of the Swarm, Scarlett did switch to Protoss back against DRG and did all in the hell out of him, and did win that series as well. It was a crazy match for sure. So Scarlett, she has her own history of racing and playing Protoss against Zerg at least, but how is her off race in general? And of course, it's many years later, it's been a while since she has competed with her off race. How does she compare to herO? Oh boy. We're about to find out. We're about to find out as we are going to be jumping into our first game. Again, as a reminder, this is going to be a best of 7, and game 1 is going to be on torches. Let's go. Let us go. And again, shout out to LiuLi, shout out to Saber for, of course, organizing, for hosting the event. Again, we have covered LiuLi Cups in the past. Typically, we cover them live, but unfortunately for this event, it was actually clashing with another tournament. At the time, so we were covering other games, as typically it is here on the CranKy Ducklings. There's just so much StarCraft going on. We're live twice a day, almost every single day. Despite that, there's still even more that we're asked to cast and asked to cover live that we just cannot, because our schedule is just so stacked and so full. There's just too much StarCraft going on, so we're here to catch up. We're here to catch up on some of those matches, and here we go. Spawning in the right hand corner of torches, we have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have her opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, typically Protoss, but off racing as Terran, representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. We go. And again, when it comes to herO's off-race, if I recall correctly, we did cast his off-race against Dark in the past, and we've casted his off-race, I want to say in the early rounds of KSL. Like, he's dabbled in some off-race here and there. So here he has spiced things up in the past, but again, it's been a while, so we'll see how he compares. We'll see how he compares here to Scarlett as we jump into... Oh, right, I remember. He off-raced against MaxPax. Yes, it was ESL Open Cup Asia at the end of last year. Before the off-season, here, it was in the finals of ESL Asia. No, sorry, finals of ESL Americas. And he did play Terran against MaxPax. True. I recall that as well. So again, here he's competed as Terran a couple of times at this level of play. I remember he played Terran, and I think he tried to proxy Marauder MaxPax one game, and then threw X-Stimul in him another game. But very aggressive builds against MaxPax. Double gas. Speaking of aggressive builds, yeah, double gas open, double gas here out of herO, going for the faster factory. This is, yeah, lining up with what we've seen before from herO against MaxPax. And this can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion, can lead into early Cyclone, early Tank Drop. We do expect something more committed here from herO. That's a probe is shut down. Scarlett does lead Scout. She does Scout. She does confirm the initial double gas opener out of her opponent, so she knows that it's going to be something more tech heavy. And we'll see where Scarlett takes us as well. And of course, welcome on all to Torches. Torches is one of the... Oh, I have to get... This is not the LATAM League. But Torches is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored. Cheese's aggression is favored here on Torches as well. And is going for the Stargate opener. Ooh, this is risky. This is a risky start here from Scarlett. Now, there's a bit of a give and take here. The rush distance by air is very short on this map, so going into an Oracle or going into Phoenixes and rushing across the map to get some damage done, it makes sense on the one hand. On the other hand, it won't help too much if herO turns this into a 2-base all-in. As we can see, initially, no tech lab. Okay, so Reactor Marine into Widowmine drop, most likely followed by something more tech heavy, but we're going for a drop play initially. This is ideal for Scarlett. If herO was rushing into an early Cyclone, then Scarlett would be in trouble, but that's not what's happening here. So Scarlett does gamble, and gambles well. Likewise, another reason why you can try to get away with this here, as you can see, herO can't scout. Here on Torches, there's no Reaper cliff into the main, like there usually is on standard maps. Here, there's only an entrance into the natural, then into the main base. And you can see Scarlett is well prepared for the Reaper. Scarlett does deny the scout, and herO doesn't know what's going on. And here comes the first Phoenix. Ooh, Reaper tries to dive in, is shut down. And likewise, Scarlett does come across with a Mind Drop. Again, the stars do align. Mind Drop is denied. Scarlett does run away. That's herO. As he does pull back. Still trying to get across the map with that medevac. Scarlett on patrol. And herO backs off. Here he pulls away, backs off, saves the medevac at least, using those ones to just zone away those Phoenixes. And now herO knows. Now hero's at least aware. From here, herO now switching into Cyclone production, switching into a more anti-air. Ideally, these Phoenixes want to shut down the medevac, but they fail to. They did deter the drop, but they haven't gotten any value yet. Haven't gotten any damage done. Does hit the natural. Gets a couple of SCVs. Scarlett has to be worried about these Widow Mines. Has to be careful they don't reposition. She has to be worried about her rally. Does pull back around. Behind this, going for extra gateways. Going into a 3-gate setup here before expanding. Playing safe. And herO, third CC. That I was not expecting. Again, historically, whenever we cast herO play Terran, he's usually hyper aggressive. But here, from the additional double gas opener into a third CC, partly I would imagine because of the Phoenixes. Like, Scarlett has gotten away with massing up Phoenixes. So herO is contained, and herO just forced to expand. Okay, we have a game. We have a game, and from here, Scarlett allowed to go into Phoenix Colossus, a very old school style, a very old school composition. This tells us a couple of things. Scarlett, ooh, is going to be zoned away. But going Phoenix Colossus, this is very out of meta. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've seen this before, and because of this, I mentioned earlier how I was curious to see if Scarlett's, like, how informed she was when it comes to her Protoss, how much has she played, like what to expect. This tells us it's been a while. Like, again, this is not seen currently anymore, just because of how aggressive Terrans have been in recent months, in the past like 6 to 8 months at this point. Like, it is so risky nowadays going Phoenix Colossus. And this was very meta a couple of years ago. Well, just last year. So I'm curious to see if Scarlett does more of this throughout the course of this series, which would tell us it's been a while. Oh. Like, it's been a while since Scarlett has laddered or polished up her off race. As Raxes are being thrown down. herO soon to expand. Remember, he's already got the third CC. What's important is that Scarlett did not scout. Lovely use of the healing pad, but did not scout at the expansion. Is not aware of how greedy or how economic herO is being. Back at home, massing out more Colossus. And Scarlett may find an opening. Ooh, doesn't quite catch the Cyclone. Tanks through siege. Interference Matrix has been researched. Here he has disables. Against Phoenix Colossus, that's going to be ideal. This is also one of the reasons why Phoenix Colossus did kind of fall off. Like, disables from the Ravens, they just shut this down so hard. Phoenixes, they got eyes on the third, not bad. Army gets spotted. SCV's going down. Here he doesn't break out yet, doesn't really have enough to work with here. He has to wait for Sim. Like, Stim is still on the way. Upgrades on the horizon. Fanning out, setting up here at his own third, and we're taking a slower approach. So you're just trying to stabilize here on 3 bases before breaking out. Scarlett, we'll see if she can break the third. Dipping on forward. Oh! Does dip in. Doesn't quite commit. Meanwhile, big shout out to Blarg in the chat. Baby God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing, for supporting for 10 months. Baby, 10 months. That's a lot of months. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Scarlett does rotate here out of position. There's a tank, but the tank's on its own. Tank gets lifted. Nice snipe here from Scarlett. But tank volley's on the production. Yeah, mine's just going off as well. Brutal connections with the Phoenixes. Tank does survive. And here holds. Yeah, here he holds on. Does defend. Scarlett force back. Behind this, going into Sky Toss. Let's go. Fleet Beacon's on the way. Working towards Tempest, working towards Carrier. We'll see if she can get there. See if she can get there. Dipping forward. Again, cannot push into the siege line. Has contained here, but was unable to stop here from getting a third. So his economy is still looking ideal. Still looking solid. Scarlett once again rotating towards the natural. Once again, herO not quite in position. Oh, Marshall goes off. Takes down the Phoenix. One Phoenix left. Does get the lift. We can see the boys being pulled to repair. And herO does dive in. Here come the mass disables. Getting 1, 2, 3 disables off. Getting 4. Every Colossus does get disabled. With force fields are solid. Force fields, they do stop the dive. But Scarlett has to back off. Has to pull away. Disables are running out. Again, those were beautiful force fields. That was on herO. herO probably could have lifted up those Raxes to break through. But that does mean the Raven energy now non-existent. herO down to 0 Ravens. The Ravens went down. No more disables. Scarlett can push in. Scarlett can break through. She can break through. Does need some reinforcements. Not many zealots left. Vikings still building up. Only 3 Vikings. Yo, do we only have 1 starport? Ooh. Yeah, only 1 starport. So limited Vikings here for herO. Getting a 3rd CC. Scarlett just taking more bases. Taking more expansions. Once again, rotating over. Up to 5 5 Colossus. Plus 1 air attack is on the way. Fleet Beacon for now, just for the mothership. No Tempest yet. This is where I'm a little bit concerned about the commitment into Colossus. I mean, the Viking count is low enough where it's okay. Now we finally get the 2nd starport, but it's a late 2nd starport, late Ghost Academy as well, late tech out of herO. Scarlett is maxed. Let's go. It's on over. Oh. Rotates towards the mineral line. Takes down the depots. We have a Dark Shrine on the way. Prism towards the main. Towards the natural. Now, what's scary here is that Scarlett has had a window of opportunity to try to break through, but she hasn't been able to break the 3rd base with the natural line. Like, the tank line has been solid, and now herO takes the 4th. This is a big moment for herO, and herO's about to max out himself. Now, herO's still lacking Ghosts and still lacking Vikings. Like, herO's army is still a little bit lackluster. It's distracted. Oh, responding with everything. Uh-oh. Yeah, drags everything back. The CC is exposed. herO will shut down the prism, but is being pulled apart. A bit of an F2 there from herO. CC goes down. Nice pickup. Zelsei busts into the bases, and herO's being pulled apart. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, tanks are going down, getting 1, getting 2 tanks. herO diving forward. Does take down the Colossus. Not bad. Gets 3. Takes down 3 Colossus. But Zelsei takes down almost every single tank. Ay, ay, ay. 1 tank survives. And herO, he bleeds out too much. He bleeds out too much. He lost the 4th CC. He's got to go. He's got to send it. It's all or nothing for herO. Now, Scarlett did lose a lot of Colossus, and Scarlett, even though she has Storm, doesn't have any High Templar. No High Templar ready, which is concerning considering there's no ghosts, right? There would have been no threat of EMP. Storm would be beautiful. Well, it's, oh, never mind. We just warped in. Okay, we just warped in High Templar. We do have one energy overcharge, so there's one Storm. The others are still gathering energy as we speak. They're gathering off that energy. We do need it. Vikings, they collapse in. Colossus is going to be going down. Nice Storm. Storm zones away. But now there's no more Colossus. Hero busting through. Ooh, another Storm. And Storms do zone. Disruptor is out. And Scarlett is holding. Remember, hero's all in. Hero floats over the main. At the same time, warping into the natural. DT slips in as well. Hero racing back home. And Scarlett is doing it. Ah. The Pratas. That's Hero turning everything around. Trying to keep up. Scarlett, when it comes to her splash damage, is still a little bit lacking, but it does get a mineral line. Oof. 11, 12 SCVs going down. Brutal losses, never goes off. Oh my god, massive connection. Brutal connection there on Hero. Scarlett coming in from behind. Storms are ready. That's a lot of storms. Mothership has arrived. And Hero just being bullied back here. And Scarlett taking every base, taking every expansion. doing a Proto subs best. Just mass expanding. Brutal storms here on the army. And here he's run out of steam. Hero definitely had a strong start here, settling up on 3 bases and getting a 4th, but it all turns south here with that Prism in the main. Hero was pulled apart. GG gets called, and Scarlett will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Scarlett does take a lead in the series. Again, a very intense game 1 here. Hero was able to hold his own, was able to defend, was able to survive. Again, as we mentioned, both armies were maxed out as we were getting in towards a longer game, but that Prism in the main base forced everything home for Hero. He responded with the entire army, and what that meant was that he exposed his own tanks and he exposed his own 4th base. And in the midst of all that chaos, almost every tank went down. I want to say like 5 tanks were killed by Zealots, and of course the 4th expansion was sniped by the Archons as well. So Hero was just torn apart. Again, just a really rough reaction to the Prism in the main, and Scarlett did find an opening, did find a weak point. GG. GG, well played. With that, Scarlett does take a lead in the series, and now we're jumping into game number 2. Let's go. Jumping to game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Persephone. Let's go. Again, we'll see if Hero can bounce back. Now, as I mentioned at the start of game 1, I'm most curious and most interested in seeing whether or not Scarlett does once again go Phoenix Colossus. Like, it's a style that's very old school, it's very out of meta, currently considered very unsafe to go for. We saw it in game 1 on Torches, and in my mind that made sense just because of the short rush distance by ground. We'll see if we embrace that again. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Canadian Protoss player. Typically Zurich, but now off racing as Protoss, representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have her opponent. We have the South Korean, typically Protoss, but now Terran player. Ooh, moving out with the SCV, representing Twisted Minds. It is Hero. Let's go. The SCV does move out across the map. And again, as we mentioned, typically when we've casted Hero play Terran before, it's usually hyper aggressive, right? It's usually a little more intense than what we saw last time. Hero was more of a defender. Here does move in. From here, we can try to dip in and delay the expansion with an eBay block. But now it does keep the SCV hidden. Yep, does move in. So cheeky start here from Hero. With this, will force the unnatural natural out of Scarlett. Scarlett moves out. And, oh god, I forgot to... God damn it. Scarlett does move out, and with that, Hero will get away with the block. Hold on, I'll see if I can get rid of the, yeah. Okay. I remember after this game. But yeah, there's too much progression. Too much progression on the eBay, so Scarlett going to be forced to expand elsewhere. And we could see Hero double down with Hellion aggression to try to punish. We'll see. We'll see if he goes for a faster factory or a faster CC. The debug gets thrown down. The probe is going to be locked in. Scarlett making a Zealot. Ooh, looks like Scarlett wants to fight for the low ground, but there's too much progression. It's gonna take too long. A really rough start here for Scarlett, as she refuses to expand elsewhere. And herO, yeah, just gets a little bit more, just a little bit more progression, up to like 98%. Oh god. And it's gonna be a long time until Scarlett can expand. That Zealot has a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do here. For those that are curious, at the highest level of play, typically if the eBay goes unscattered and gets this much progression, this much HP, the Protoss player will just ignore it. Will just ignore this eBay and just expand elsewhere and not invest into this Zealot. The fact that we saw the Zealot means that Scarlett intends to break this down, which means just a heavy delay on the expansion. Once again, Stargate opener. Once again, Stargate, herO does scout. herO scouts, herO confirms. herO is aware. And herO should cancel in time. The SCV just tanks some shots. Will cause a delay, and there it is. Scarlett now expands elsewhere, but had to spend money on this Zealot. So late expansion. This could have been thrown down earlier. The Zealot could have been skipped. So a shaky start for Scarlett. And behind this, what do we have? A CC on the low ground, and we have our 2-1-1 setup. I would imagine for a third Rax as well. So if we see a third Rax, this screams 2-base all in. And this would be a good way to punish Scarlett, just because her economy is delayed and she's opening Stargate as well, which is weak against all-ins. So our eyes are open, our eyes are peeled for a third Rax. Yep, there it is, third Rax. Third Rax is turned down, 2-base all-in. Now herO, he will have the option to pull the boys. Basically, the build that herO is going for is a really strong stim timing. We're going to go into Mass Marine. We should be going for an add-on swap here with this Tech Lab into early stim, into just a heavy push across the map. And again, can pull the boys with this. It's going to be on Scarlett to scout and to try to respond. As you mentioned though, like this Stargate is not going to help here in the defense. Or it's going to be difficult to actually make use of this defensively. Does dive in. Gets an SCV. Picks off some Marines. Not bad. Not quite. Gets 2 workers. Is going to be zoned away by the Cyclone. And Scarlett scout. She knows. She sees the setup. She sees how late the starport is. So Scarlett is aware of how aggressive herO is being. And the problem is, again, Blink is late. Because of the Stargate opener, the Twilight Council is delayed. Blink is delayed as well. The economy is delayed. The economy is also spread out. So herO, he can push in between the bases and pick between the natural and the third. It's going to be a more awkward defense. And here comes herO. Now, if you remember, I assume this is going to be a stim timing. He does an add-on swap. He's crazy. He's going for a tank-based all-in instead. Just rushing across the map as quickly as possible. So I assume this is going to hit later, and I think Scarlett assumes so as well. There's no shield battery. No shield battery, no defensive setup. This is not meant to be this early. There was meant to be an add-on swap, Abby. Okay. And here comes herO. And it's still working towards the eBay, it's still working towards the Tech Lab, it's still working towards that next phase. But this is more like a Byun timing. Like, Byun is so fond of these pushes where he moves out pre-stim. Blink is not done, bear that in mind. Stalker's getting picked off. I mean, again, herO, he knows that Scarlett is vulnerable because of the build, because of the opener. Tank goes off. Oh, God. Takes down a Stalker. Scarlett attempting this around. See herO reinforcing with a second tank. Second tank is on the way. Scarlett Blink is done. She can try to go for the dive, but now there's 2 tanks. And the second tank has arrived. Nice splits by herO. herO, he splits off. The Oracle can try to dive on the tank as well. And Scarlett is soon to go for it. Oh no! The Oracle, get out of here! Brutal lock-on. Brutal lock-on on the Oracle. Another lock-on as well. The base is under fire, and this expansion, it's gonna go down. Scarlett, she has to engage now. There's a third tank! Scarlett trying to catch reinforcements, but this is late. These are late catches from Scarlett, and the base falls. Scarlett down to a 1-base economy. Down to 1 expansion, back at home. herO setting up, is aware of the Stalkers coming his way. Has a tank, no bunker. Uh-oh. He's just going for the main. He's going for the main base. Up! Oh my god, nice stasis. Okay. Stasis goes up. Buying some time. Scarlett, now's the time to dive in. Now we have to dive. The best moment, but tanks are how they do siege up. Scarlett racing back as herO does defend. And the stasis is about to run out. Scarlett has how many? 11 stalkers. 11 stalkers blinking into 3 tanks is not going to be easy. Oh god. Oh no. Scarlett taking another base. Trying to re-expand. Now going for the dive. Tank volleys again. Once again, they're just brutal here. They punish the stalkers. GG gets called, and herO does fight back. Does put a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO does tie things up. Again, it was just a really shaky start from Scarlett. Winding it back, herO, he did open up with an eBay block, and Scarlett, it took her a very long time to decide to commit to taking the expansion at the 3rd location. Scarlett went for initially the Zealot, did delay the expansion quite heavily, and by the time she did go for the base, it was just so heavily delayed. herO did start things off with the lead. herO also got a free scout of the main base, saw the Stargate, and committed into a 2-base all-in. I'm surprised by how quickly it hit, just because herO hit before Stiv, just a really early push with 1 and then a 2nd tank, and Scarlett was also caught off guard. As he mentioned, when you go for a Stargate opener like that, you do leave yourself vulnerable to these all-ins, and herO did take full advantage. And we'll see if Scarlett continues with the Stargate openers, or if we see something a little bit more standard here. We'll see. Up next, going to be loading into game number 3, and we'll see who takes the lead in the series, who does gain that momentum. Let's go, as we're jumping into ley lines. Here we go. Just catching up in the chat. Have I traveled into a parallel universe with Scarlett playing Protoss and heroes playing Terran? Oh no. Again, this is an off-race show match. Off-race best of 7. And we do have our back and forth here. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have her opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Twisted Minds. Fighting back, tying up the series, it is herO. We go. And again, if you haven't seen the herO and Scarlett off-race before, do recommend checking out our VODs on the channel. herO, he has played Terran a couple of times in competitive play. Notoriously against MaxMax in the ESL Open Cups. And I want to say, oh, who else? Against Dark, of course. Against Dark as well. And maybe against a couple of others. Likewise, of course, Scarlett also notorious for off-racing, at least back in the day. So I feel like it's a good pairing. But as I mentioned coming into this, I don't really know the current level of play that Scarlett is at when it comes to her Protoss. I know that herO is like just over 6k with his Terran. And Scarlett was able to hold her own on torches, 100%. Was able to hold her own. Here we go. Scarlett does go for a more standard opener initially, just gate expand. Nothing crazy. Likewise, herO going for a single gas. Okay, so racks expand out of herO. Economic start. Let's go. For the first time, actually. For the first time this series, economic opener out of herO. Scarlett does confirm, and this time there's no crazy eBay block. This time Scarlett has a much more comfortable start. Ooh, but that's going to be a tech lab. Okay, herO opening up Concussive Shell Marauders. A cheeky start here by herO. So basically a couple of things. herO does open economically with a faster CC. That typically does cause a reaction. It does cause the Protoss to respond with Adept and Stalker Harass to try to punish and delay the command center. This is to counteract that kind of aggression going for Marauders, and the goal here is to catch and to punish and to shut down any initial early gateway aggression. Now Scarlett, unfortunately with that probe scout, did not go back up the ramp, is not aware of what's going on, is not aware that herO is trying to lay a trap. Ooh, but the Adept is cancelled, and we have a Stalker into a Robo. This, we don't see it. Actually, we see it every now and then. We see Robo Openers every now and then. A Robo Opener is very safe. What a Robo Opener does entail is it does give you access to early Immortal production. So early Immortals, if you're up against an all-in, it does give you access to early Prism for Prism Harass, for Adept Harass across the map. It also allows you to go into an early Bay, into early Colossus as well. This used to be very meta back in the day, a couple of years ago, back when 3-Raxes were common, back when 3-Raxes were plaguing the meta. Rushing into fast Colossus would shut it down. But because Scarlett cancelled her Adept, she's not really being too active here, and you can see herO trying to catch the initial unit, and Scarlett's just scouting. Scarlett doesn't move out, so herO trying to find any stray Stalker or Adept. So far has found nothing. But Scarlett doesn't really know what she's up against, and there's no safety shield battery. Uh-oh, no shield battery. No defensive setup. herO moving in. And does want that Stalker. Yeah, boys have to be pulled. Shield battery's on the way, and Scarlett will hold. Whew, okay, so a very intense early game here. Now, because of the opener, because of the concussive shell, it wasn't really worth it for herO. Ideally, again, as we mentioned, he wanted to catch the Adept or the Stalker, trying to harass, but there was no harassment. So after the openers, I would say that Scarlett is a bit ahead here. She's in a better position. Behind this, early Immortal production is on the way. Meanwhile, herO, do you see what I see? Second Rax. Second Rax, early stim. From here, if we throw down a third Rax, 2 base all in. We're getting here similar to last game, except this time stim is a much faster. Remember, last game herO hit pre-stim, this time stim is on the way. Tank production as well, so a very aggressive follow-up here from herO, as herO does delay his starport in favor of stim and tanks. Meanwhile, Scarlett is somewhat aware. Okay, spots a tank. Spots the Mass Marauder as well. Immortal's going to be ideal, but I don't think Scarlett wants to engage ahead of time. Remember, Scarlett has no blink. Ooh, and Scarlett rushing into Colossus. This is not the play, not right now. Not against the Heavy Marauder army. As we mentioned, this opener that Scarlett's going for is designed to shut down and hard counter 3-Raxes. But this is a little bit different here. It is technically, we're getting for 3-Raxes, that's true, but it's so Marauder heavy. So Marauder heavy, and again, tank heavy as well. This is not your typical 3-Rax. Like, where stim is available. Does stim in. Yeah, does stim in. Does catch out the Immortal. Yeah, Scarlett. Gonna be losing everything here. It does overextend. Should not have been here. Caught off guard by the fast stim. And Scarlett is in trouble. Scarlett, she's in danger here. Sure, there's going to be a Colossus, but I'll be honest, we have seen many a Marauder-based army just stim forward and hunt down Colossi. Like, that Colossus is not safe. Again, the Colossus is ideal to shut down a Marine heavy style, but this is not Marine heavy. There's not a lot of Marines here. It's more Marauder and tank heavy instead, and here we go. herO does rotate, does head towards the natural. Scarlett is in danger. First Colossus has arrived. 1 Colossus, 1 Sentry, 1 Stalker, and 2 Shield Batteries and a Dream. Let's go. And tank volley is going to be going up. herO moving in. Just rallying everything across the map. Again, this is a 2-base all-in. Snipes the Observer. Observer goes down. And you can see herO just slowly encroaching upon the natural. Slowly sieging forward. And Scarlett has no charge. Scarlett has no blink. Scarlett has no way to dive on this army. And again, Colossus are not going to cut it. Not against this kind of army. Not against this. I will send up 3 Colossus, true. With enough Colossus, I mean, you can kill anything, I suppose. True, not wrong. We just need 6 Colossus. Let's go. But now the tank within range of the Nexus. Scarlett has to commit. Solos are going to be dealt with. Yeah, the Colossus, they cannot touch the tanks. So many volleys here just tanked by the Marauders. Breaks through the first tank, getting on top of the second. Okay, the third tank is too far behind. Oh, but here comes the stim. And the stim is brutal. And you can see every stim hurts. Remember, this is an all-in without medevacs. There are no medevacs with the army. Medevacs just now going to be on the way. They're just now rallying over. I'll be honest, I wouldn't have been opposed to herO just pulling the boys, but is opting to keep them at home. Now 3 Colossus. The first tank should go down. Not bad. Scarlett's holding. Whew, Scarlett does hold. herO does abandon this position. He backs off. And Scarlett will survive. Getting up to a 4th Colossus. Getting up to a 4th Colossus. Let's go. The Mass Colossus army. herO pulling away, going for a drop. Behind this, third CC on location. Here he has recognized the all-in has failed. Did trade well initially, but again, was a little bit too spread out, a little bit too spread thin. Tanks, they weren't supporting each other, and the game continues. Okay. We have a game. We have a game here. Now, I will say that this third base for Scarlett is going to be late. It's going to be delayed, but still has a formidable force in the center. Bully back herO. Bully herO back. herO sitting up on the high ground. Vikings have arrived. I'm not too confident in Scarlett pushing into this kind of army. It's a very sentry-heavy composition. Very sentry-heavy. Rotating over. Because of that, the anti-air is lacking. With enough Vikings, herO could maybe even ignore the sentries and just hunt this down. Like, Scarlett has to respect the Vikings here. Has to pull away. Without Stalkers, these Colossus are so vulnerable to the mass Viking. As Vikings are spreading out here to deal with prisms. Scarlett backs off, and the game continues. From here, working towards Blink. Temple Archives on the way for Storm, for Archons. Scarlett is building up. Likewise, so is herO. Let's go. We go. Scarlett's still building up. Still building up, so has a presence on the map. Blink is not yet done, bear that in mind. But Scarlett is posturing. Saber goes down. Again, Scarlett should not push into this, but just poking in. Peeking for whatever she can. Fourth base on the way. Storm has begun. We're getting there. Of course, herO still has that economic lead, that economic advantage. Scarlett needs that fourth. And herO's building up a terrifying army. Just a very Marauder-heavy composition. Beyond, is that you? Oh, God. Army got spotted. This is where Storm isn't going to be as effective either. Like, Storm is on the way, that's true, but Marauders, they can tank some Storms. Ooh, mispathing. Mispathing. Free Colossus. Colossus goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Again, that's 12 Vikings. And Scarlett, despite surviving earlier, not quite able to recover. Not against this. Nice force fields. Force fields, they bob up for the Vikings. They go in. The one Colossus goes down. Second Colossus as well. Where the Stalkers, there's no anti-air. They're limited anti-air. The Colossus crumble. And herO snowballs out of control. Breaks through that offensive line. Lands the Vikings. The Storms are too late. 5 seconds away. Yeah, too little too late here. They're just now finishing up, but now there's no army. There's nothing left. Vikings headed for the main. And the third base has been broken. Again, just a really rough opener here for Scarlett. Rushing into Colossus against the early all-in. Event, like, it did survive, that's true, but didn't really thrive. Didn't really thrive here. Vikings taking down 19 probes. Storm's going to be coming in just to buy some time. But herO won't be stopped. herO will not be stopped. Brutal tank shots. They shut down the High Templar. The tank volleys are brutal. And Scarlett has been broken. GG gets called, and herO will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And with that, herO does take a lead, and we'll see if he can extend that lead. We'll see if Scarlett can bring it back. Again, winding it back, it was a bit of a rougher start for Scarlett, opening up Robo, going for a Colossus-based opener, specifically against a tank-based and Marauder-based all-in. I think was caught a little bit by surprise there by just how many Marauders were building up, and we saw that Scarlett was caught in the center of the map. At the start of the game, if you remember, she opened up Immortal, moved out with her Immortals and Sentries, and got caught out in the open. Everything just went down, everything went south, and from there, Scarlett was contained on 2 bases. So just a really rough start there for Scarlett, but we'll see if she can recover. We'll see how our players do adjust their openers here as we jump into game number 4. Let's go. Just see in the chat, why are they off-racing? Any reason? It's it's an off-race show match. The show match is predicated on them off-racing. it's the point of the show match. It's the point of the series. It's an off-race show match. And here we go. We're jumping into our next game. Jumping into game number 4. Let's go. Here we go. If they wouldn't be off racing, they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't. They wouldn't be playing. Here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the typically Protoss, but now off racing as Terran. It is herO. For Twisted Minds. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Shopify Rebellion down in the series. We'll see if she can bring it back and tie the series up. It is Scarlett. Buying appliances. Yo, did we get a new vacuum? Unironically exciting. Unironically. If so, that's hype. Clean that house. So now, let's sell again. We do have initial openers here. Now, herO last game did open up with a Rax Expand economic opener. Here, as we load into Tokamak, Tokamak is one of the larger maps in that pool. Economic openers are more standard here, are more expected. And we see no second gas. No second gas, guys. So herO is going for the faster command center. Fridge and washing machine. Oh, let's go. Oh my god. Oh. Probe does dip in. And we'll pull away. So Scarlett does scout. Scarlett is aware of the single gas. So aware. From here, attempting to delay the expansion, CC is going to be thrown down. And herO does expand. Now, if you recall, last game, herO tried to counter, or tried to hard counter, like Adept Aggression by going for a Marauder follow-up. Aggression that never really came. Oh my god, a nice pick-off here there from Scarlett. Will delay the CC. Yeah, the SV takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. Reaper does swap out, and herO can now focus on expanding. Now pull back in. Takes out the probe. Smooch. So fast, like Clem. True. herO is, his Terran is pretty equivalent to Clem. Is true. Aye. It's like how Clem, he has the best Protoss in Europe. Like herO has the best Terran in Korea. True. I'm loving the banter. Behind this is going for a standard follow-up here. Gas on the way, factory on the way as well. Oh, and once again, Robo Opener. Oh, I should have pointed this out earlier, but again, just like the last game, Robo Opener here out of Scarlett. Once again, I was curious how old school Scarlett was playing, and this was a more trendy back in the day. This can lead once again into early Colossus production. Into a safety immortal, into Colossus play. We've seen where that can struggle, especially with herO's Marauder heavy style last game. But this time herO going for a 1-1-1, standard opener. Okay, no crazy fast concussive shell, no fast Marauders, not this time. So I do favor Scarlett's start here. Start here in game 3 or game 4. Do favor it more so than last game. There we go. Yep, going into the boss bay, going to the fast Colossus. And again, this build is designed to hard counter 3x sim. Like early sim timings are hard countered by this. The Reaper does scout. Reaper confirms everything. Sees the Robo and the Bay as well. Now what this struggles against is drop play. As you can imagine, because we're going for a Robo into a Bay, no Twilight Council, no Stargate, no Blink, no Phoenixes. Anti-air is very limited when it comes to this army. We actually saw that come into play in the mid-game of last game. That's why there were so few Stalkers. That's why there was no presence, nothing to save and protect the Colossus from the Vikings. The Vikings, they just went to town last game. And likewise, drop play can excel here. So here, moving out with his first drop. We'll see if Scarlett can keep up. Scarlett claiming her third. Oh! We'll zone away. Does try to zone. herO picks up the probe, but doesn't really get much else. Pulling back. Oh! Now going for the Stalker. Lock-on is brutal, and it does not get the Stalker, but does get the Sentry. And Sentry goes down. Pulling back the Stalkers. Immortal has arrived, and with that, Scarlett should hold. Scarlett should hold on. All in all, I mean, I would say a better trade for Scarlett. herO did get a Sentry, which is nice. True. Sentry does have a lot of value. Behind this, herO claiming a third CC, building up towards a longer macro game. Okay, and this is where Scarlett can settle in. Last game did struggle against the more aggressive build out of herO, but here herO is being more economic. I say that, still being active. Despite expanding behind this, is pushing. It's pushing out, bearing in mind this is very Beyond-esque, just like last time before Stim. This is a pre-Stim push. The goal here is to break the third, and to catch Scarlett being too greedy. And we'll see if herO can pull this off. Does get within range of the Nexus. Try to bait the army in. Remember, there's no charge or blink. Remember, this is one of the downsides here of this build. Colossus, oh. Doesn't quite get a volley off. Tank's pushing forward. And the Colossus is getting a little bit too close. Viking has arrived. Zoning the Colossus away, and the base is going to go down. Massive pick off. And this is all the herO wanted. It kills the third. And from here, I have to get the hell out of here. Scarlett collapses in. And we'll clean up the army. Oh no, without losing to the Colossus. Colossus goes down. The Immortal as well. Oh my god. The Immortal falls, and herO can pull away. herO can just walk away. Remember, there's no blink, so Scarlett cannot chase. Has to retake the third, but lost the Colossus and the Immortal as well. Ay, ay, ay. Scarlett trying to hunt down that tank. Might be able to catch up, actually. Viking does land. Won't be able to. And Viking pulls away. And herO does preserve his army. And this is just a really rough start here for Scarlett. Again, herO, as soon as he saw the opener, he punished it so hard. herO, he knows how to TvP. Really is Clem. Oh my god. From here, expanding, getting a third base. herO does take an economic lead. Scarlett does fall behind. Now from here, there are ways to recover, of course, going for a Zealot run by. Zealot drops blink counterattacks as well. But as we mentioned, because of the opener of Scarlett's, Twilight Council's not done. Like, there is no charge, there is no blink. The ability to harass here is very limited for Scarlett. That's why this build is very niche and why it's rarely seen nowadays. Scarlett rotating over. Headed towards the third. Does get into the mineral line, not bad. Gets 3 SCVs. Takes on 3 workers. herO has to reposition. Now, if herO's too passive, then Scarlett can recover. Scarlett now claiming a 4th. Getting a 4th base up and running. Working towards charge. Temple Archives on the way as well. If herO stays back, then Scarlett can catch up. So here's moving out with a Widow Mine drop. Mine drop is on the way. Oh, catching a medevac. Nicely done. He's on the medevac, but does want to go in. Yeah, does want to push in. Has to get the hell out of here. No. Bit of miscontrol as well. And with that, the first Colossus is going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. Colossus falls. herO sims in. And Scarlett did overextend, did overstay her welcome. Losing both Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal losses there for Scarlett. Again, did fly too close to the sun. Did poke in a little bit too far. And with that, down to just Disruptors. Disruptors, charge, blink just began, storm just began. Again, all this tech is delayed. Hero moving in. And how good a hero splits. There it goes off. No major connection. Hero pushing forward, getting a 4th CC. CC. Once again, Nova's don't quite connect. Hero splits well, or spreads well. And behind this hero, he's about to max. He's about to max out. Luna Snowball out of control. Soon he can stim and he can win. Bad, he can win. That's a lot of buy. Dropping into the main, going for the production. Yeah, the Robo is exposed. Scarlett reacts with her army. Does keep Disruptors in position. Disruptor goes down. Robo as well. Hero moving in. Shows us Novas. Nova goes off. Once again, here he does pull away. Yeah, avoids the Novas. Dives into the main base. And is pulling Scarlett apart. Oh, we do get one good Nova though. Not bad. Nova connects, but we need more than one. We need more than one here. As the army can come in from behind. Nova goes off, takes down a couple of Marauders. But the army just stims in. Yeah, just stims in, takes down the Stalkers, takes down the Disruptors as well. And there's nothing left. Nothing here. 27 probe kills. Drop back into the main base. And Scarlett has almost nothing left. Once again, just a really rough start there for Scarlett. Going for the River Opener into the Faster Bay, into the Colossus, and didn't really achieve much with it. And lost everything across the map. And again, even though historically we've seen more aggressive builds out of Hero, Hero has been enjoying a little more macro play, or at least longer game states. To his natural, into his third. A lot of it did come down to the first push though, if you recall. Which is not the third. Which is not the expansion. It was just a brutal way to punish the build of Scarlett. I mean, Hero does main base Protoss, so he knows, like, the vulnerabilities of certain openers. It's crazy. So there we go, Storm popping up. We got some decent Storms. At the same time, Hero snipes the third. Takes down the Nexus. Moves in with the Liberators. And we'll just overrun whatever's left here. Down to 2 Stalkers. Down to 1. Hero working towards +3. Getting his 4th base up and running. Still macroing out of this. Still maintaining himself. And Scarlett down to no splash damage. At one point had Colossus, had Disruptors, even Storm, but not anymore. Not anymore. Kira just searching for expansions, finds a full mining base. Scarlett trying to break out. Oh, good. There's still Liberation as well. 14 probe kills, takes down the mineral line. And again, slowly over time, Scarlett will just bleed out these bases. Bleed out the expansions. And here is having fun. The stutter stepping. Oh, God. Calm down, Clem. Calm down. Oh, nice Storm. Storm in the main army. Hero still just rallying across, waiting for his reinforcements. Now they've arrived. From here, we'll just clean up the fringe bases. Setting up the 4th. Scarlett gonna try to engage, pushing into Liberation Zones. Oh, God. And GG gets called. Hero will extend his lead in the series, taking a lead 3-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Does extend his lead here. And Hero, he's one game away from claiming the series. We'll see if Scarlett can bounce back. Again, has already shown off some prowess here with her Protoss, of course, in Game 1. But what I will say is that coming into Game 2, 3, and 4, we've seen nothing but robot openers out of Scarlett. And again, we've seen herO punish these openers time and time again. It has not really been worth it, has not paid off. Will we see Scarlett deviate? Do we go into a standard blink-based opener, into 3-gate blink, 4-gate blink stalker? Do we go for something different? Do we even go for some cheese? Oh boy. We're here to find out, as we're going to be loading into one of these smaller maps in the map pool. Here, all-ins are favored. Terran all-ins are going to be favored here. So I'm a little bit concerned. We'll see how Scarlett will approach this as we load into Pylon. Let's go. Pylon is coming up next, as we load into game number 5. Here we go, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Shopify Rebellion down in the series. We'll see if she can bring it back and look to force the ace match. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have her opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. Hello. As herO, he does move out across the map with the SCV, bearing in mind only one SCV. We've seen this before, if you recall. We saw this on Persephone, with herO opening up with what looks to be an eBay block. A way to block across the map, a way to disrupt the opener of Scarlett. I'm hoping that this time either Scarlett's able to see this ahead of time, or able to react a little bit faster and claim a faster expansion. If you recall on Persephone, it was just such a delayed natural base from Scarlett. It was just a really rough opener after the successful eBay block, and we'll see if we can replicate that success. As the eBay is on the way. And Scarlett, she's not able to check in time, so she won't be able to cancel this eBay. Scarlett has to make a choice here, and again, should respond with a faster natural elsewhere. Yeah, there we go. Much faster response. Pro pulls away. And there's a Nexus. And again, this is the response that we should have seen on Persephone, but it was a bit of a shaky response. Again, like, it showed that maybe Scarlett wasn't too familiar with the situation, but this is a cleaner game here, a cleaner response compared to Persephone. Let's go. Now, of course, the downside here, as herO goes for a factory before expansion, you can still go CC after the eBay block, but here herO does go for the factory, going for the reactor. Now, what's scary about this setup is that herO can go for the add-on swap into Hellions, and the purpose of that would be to punish the setup from Scarlett. Scarlett is forced to take the unnatural. Natural Scarlett is split between the third and the main base. It is more awkward to defend these two locations at once, and herO can try to punish with Mass Hellion. Ooh, getting ready for the starports. Yeah, factory's about to finish. We're going for the starport, going for the proxy. I would say drop into the main. Uh-oh. There's that island swap. Yep, going to Hellion production. And we are looking for that starport. CC has been thrown down, so another one base all in. Hellion production has begun. And there's that starport. Yep, Hellion drop into the main. I get herO. He knows. He knows all about TvP, papi. It's crazy. Almost like he plays the reverse of this all the time. But yeah, so we have the proxy. Now, technically, this could be a Liberator. It could be proxy Liberator into the main and then Hellions towards the natural instead. Or it could be Medevac into just Hellion drop into the main. So there are two options. Two options here available to herO. As herO does make an extra wave of Hellions, herO pokes in. Is going to be a Stargate opener out of Scarlett. Now, Stargate openers are very common in this kind of position. The reasoning for this, as we mentioned, as we try to emphasize, it is so difficult and so awkward for a Protoss player to defend their third and their main base at the same time. But the Oracle does alleviate some of that pressure because the Oracle doesn't care about terrain, right? It can maneuver between the bases faster and a little bit more seamlessly to defend against these Hellions and Reapers. Meanwhile, 4 Hellions, they can one-shot. Yeah, probes are going to be going down. They're getting roasted. That's already going to be 4 probes going down. Oracle is revealed. 6 probe kills already. Hellions, they back off. And, ooh, because of that, we don't really have that many Hellions to load up into the medevac. But more Hellions are on the way. More Hellions are on the way. It's already a decent start for herO. He rotates back around, going for the drop into the main, followed by the Liberator as well. And this time the Oracle's not at home. Yeah, this time the Oracle's across the map. We'll get some SCV kills. But what about the main base of Scarlett? Ay, ay, ay. SCVs are going down. That's good damage, but here come the Hellions. As they do bust into the main. And no warp in. The probe's going to be going down. They're getting roasted. And Scarlett, she's going to lose too much. She's going to lose far too much here. 9 probes going down. We're still not done. 12 probes. 12 worker kills. Drop rotating over towards the third. Scarlett trying to keep up. Racing on over. These Hellions are unloaded. Taking 2-shot. They don't get much damage done. Scarlett does defend at the same time. Liberator into the main. More probe damage. More probe kills. 16. Full mineral line goes down. Ay, ay, ay. And back at home, herO making SCVs. herO building up SCVs. Massing up Cyclones to defend against the Oracle. Starport's floating back home. And herO does kick things off with a lead. So herO, he is ahead economically. Oh, catching out the Phoenix. Oh no! Yeah, the Phoenix gets caught out. Brutal pickoff. herO hunting for the Oracle. As the Oracle is still active, still out there. herO moving out. And remember, because of the Stargate opener, herO, he knows there's no blink. He knows there is no blink. So there's no threats here to this army. Oh no! Catching out the Oracle. And there's no escaping. There's no escaping this. Another shot goes up. Oracle goes down. And behind this herO, he could go for a 2-base all-in, but he's expanding. Third CC. Third CC is on the way. herO building up towards his third base. Macroing out of this. +1 is on the way. Extra Raxes. Honestly, could just turn this into a 2-base all-in, but it's just playing it out safely. It's calming down. Yo, that's an F2 Liberator. That's does siege it up. So we just send it across the map. herO, man of the people. Let's go. Saber just move into the main. This time Scarlett should deal with it without too much issue. Losing 1 Stalker. Better defense. Hellions towards the mineral line. And herO backs up. herO does retreat. Again, he's still lacking his upgrades. No reason to push out now because we may as well wait for +1. +1. Stim is on the way. herO, he doesn't want to hit an anti-timing. Just waiting for his upgrades, waiting for everything he can. As he calms down, as he waits, Scarlett, what is she working on? Working on charge. Charge is done. +1 is done. Working on blink. Currently, no splash damage. That's the big concern here. Whether it's Colossus, Disruptor, Storm, we need something. A pure gateway composition can work if you have momentum. If the Protoss is ahead, if they have an extra base over their opponents, if they have that economic lead, then sure, they can pull off that Swarm Toss style. But that's not the current game state. Scarlett moving out. Catching at the Zealot. Claiming his third. Here we're just building up. And again, there's just no rush for herO. There's no rush. From the side of Scarlett, this is where the pressure's on to go for Prism drop into the main, Zealot run by into a base as herO moves out. Going for Dark Templar, Storm. There are definitely some avenues to recover, but TvP, it's difficult. It's difficult to take momentum away from your opponent. Moving out with the double drop. Double jump towards the left. Storm has begun. And again, Scarlett does need Storm. Scarlett does spot the drop. Oh. Army sims in, trades well against the Zealots, does kite well. Yeah, charge will start going down. Shouldn't be able to get on top of the upgrades. Thankfully, there is a shield battery, but still just brutal trades here, going for the pylon. Yeah, just pylon's gonna go down, depowers everything, denies +1, just barely, no shot, he's gonna get it, the Forge! Oh god, thankfully not. The Forge will survive. Ooh, there's a blink. Scarlett does hold. Oh god, I spoke too soon. I spoke way too soon. The Forge goes down, +1 is indeed denied. Marines, I do so much. Man with gun is pretty good. It's pretty good. And here comes herO. Here comes herO. Pushing right down the center. Storm is complete. There's one High Templar. There's one Storm available. Nice, very nice last second split out of herO. Avoids the Storm. Looks like we have one more, as it was the energy overcharge. So another Storm coming in. Storm mainly on the tank. Wouldn't mind push forward. Another Storm zones. We have more Storms on the way. Scarlett needs a little bit more time. The herO just forcing his way through. Pushing forward with the tanks. Better Storm on the Widow Mines. And there's soon to be 2 more Storms. Oh, that's never mind. EMP goes up. Down to 1. 1 Storm left. Brutal EMP. EMP on the Sentry as well. Sentry goes down. herO stims in. Breaks through the Stalkers. No shield batteries. And Scarlett dives on forward into the minefield. And Scarlett will lose everything here. herO snowballs out of control. Breaks through the Stalkers. GG gets called. And herO will claim the series 4-1. Claiming the best of 7. And showcasing his Terran. GG. GG. GG, well played. Again, we've seen herO compete and showcases Terran against players like Dark, against players like MaxPax as well. herO showing it off against Scarlett. Now, I will say that herO did have the advantage of playing a reverse race. What I mean by that, Scarlett, for example, like many Zerg players, whenever they do off races Protoss, they usually do it to avoid ZVZ and to play against Zerg, and they have a lot more like kind of like knowledge when it comes to the intricacies of that kind of matchup and of that back and forth. That's one of the reasons why players do excel with off racing to avoid a mirror matchup, just because they know the opposite end that much better. And that was clearly shown here from the side of herO in regards to his initial Marauder response to try to punish the Stalker aggression or the gateway aggression of Scarlett, the scouting of the Robo opener and punishing that with the early like Beyond push, with the Stimless Marine push with tanks, punishing that build. And likewise, punishing the third base location, the unnatural natural, with Hellions and with a Hellion drop into the main, right? Like, this is all like after scouting, after confirming what Scarlett was up to, herO did do everything he could to almost hard counter, just shut it down, to punish those builds specifically and to abuse that. Again, because he's been on the receiving end of that for so much and so long. Typically, Scarlett, when she excels with her Protoss, it's in PvZ. It's against Zerg players, not typically against Terran. So GG, well played. So herO did have that advantage, is what I will say, as that's typically where players do excel with their off race, is against their main race. But regardless, GG, well played. Scarlett was able to pose a threat in the first game, able to make a series out of it as well. GG, well played. Congratulations here to herO, as it does claim the series, and a shout out to Scarlett as well for competing and for taking part in that show match. Again, for those that are maybe tuning in a little bit later, this was an off-race best of 7 show match between Scarlett and herO, intended to be an off-race show match. And a shout out to LiuLi, a shout out to Saber for, of course, orchestrating and for hosting this invitational. Again, LiuLi Cup, this is LiuLi Cup 40, so herO is our champion, and LiuLi Cup is a semi-regular tournament where there's no really set format. Sometimes it's a best of 7 show match, sometimes it's a round robin 5-player group, sometimes it's a GSL group, sometimes it's a full player invitational. They do kind of adjust the format depending on, you know, what they're looking at and what they're looking for. But a shout out to Saber, and again, shout out to Saber for, of course, sharing these games as well. Gracias, bienvenidos, thank you, GG, well played. Hero's Terran is better than Clem's Protoss. Bold statement, papi. Bold statement. Clem has the best Protoss in Europe, papi. That's crazy. That's crazy. Regardless, GG. GG. Imagine dying at 99%. That was a brutal denial. Brutal denial. Oh. Why didn't herO go Zerg? Just because hero's more confident with his Terran. I think herO, he's over 6k on the Korean ladder with his Terran. Like, hero's Terran's... So it's pretty terrifying. And that's all they agreed upon. herO Zerg is more lackluster. We have been born witness to herO Zerg before. It leaves a lot to be desired. It's very rough around the edges, is what I will say. Much more than his Terran. But with that, GG, well played, and I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time here in today's broadcast. We just wrapped up with the LATAM League Finals and also with LiuLi Cup number 40. Our next broadcast should be later on tonight. It's going to be a very intense weekend of StarCraft. Let's catch up on our schedule, catch up on our brackets from the bottom here, from the top. Sunday. The weekend. Hope you've all been having a lovely weekend and a great start to your weekend as well. Here we are Saturday morning. We just wrapped up with our morning broadcast, and later on tonight, what do we have? We have the Esports World Cup Global Qualifiers. The Global Qualifiers are finally upon us. We have an 8-player setup. Actually, I can show you guys. Hold on. Esports World Cup. But we have 8 players. We have 8 players, and I don't know if we have the bracket yet. It'd be crazy if we don't. Yeah, we don't. God damn it. But we can show this off. One momento. Okay, here we go. Bam, beautiful. Okay, so later on tonight at 11 p.m. KST, that's going to be at midnight my time. That's going to be in 10 hours. In 10 hours time, we're going to be live with the Esports World Cup Global Qualifier. Bam, there we go. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. There it is. There it is. With our qualifier. And as you can see here, we have 3 players from the Korean qualifier. We have Byun, Gumiho, and Ryung. We have 3 Terrans from the Korean qualifier. We have Goblin, herMarine, and Lambo from the European qualifier. Showtime initially actually made it through over Lambo, but because of Showtime's performance at Star Zagora, Showtime is already in Esports World Cup. He's already made it through into the main event, which means Lambo has a chance to redeem himself here in the last chance qualifier. We have Estrella from the Americas qualifier, and of course Lemon from the Asia qualifier as well. So we have in total 3 Protoss, 4 Terran, and 1 Zerg looking to make it into the Esports World Cup. And have a look at the bracket here. And the bracket has yet to be filled out, but it's going to be an 8-player double elimination format. These are going to be best of 5s and best of 7 qualifying matches, and out of all the 8 players, 4 players make it through. Honestly, there's a pretty good chance, like 50-50, like pretty good chance. I say 50-50. I mean, the caliber of players here is going to be intense and very insane, and everyone's going to be playing their hearts out here to make it into the Esports World Cup. This is basically the last chance qualifier for Esports World Cup. 4 players out of our 8 will make it through, and it's hard to make any predictions here, really, without looking at the bracket. Without seeing the lineups here, it's hard to guess as to who can make it far, who can't. I think a good example of that is certain matchups. For example, I do think that Lambo, the matchup that he's struggling in the most right now is ZVT. So I do worry for Lambo against Terran players. Against Protoss, I feel like he has a really good shot. Like Lambo, he has some killer ZVP. Unfortunately, he has no ZVZ. Like Lambo, he went to the ace match against Cyril recently. It was in the European qualifiers. He went to the ace match. Like Lambo, he has some killer ZVZ. Unfortunately, there's no other Zergs, so he can't really show that off. Another example of that is like Gumiho, for example. Gumiho, he has arguably the best TvT in the world. Like Gumiho and Ryung, they are TvT snipers. If they end up in a matchup here with Terran into Terran, then that's where Gumiho and Ryung can thrive. That's where they can thrive. That's where they can excel. Meanwhile, from the side of Byun, he does have some. I would say that Byun's Terran versus Protoss is a little bit better than Gumiho and Ryung's, for example. So that's where he would maybe excel a little bit more. Same with Gabe. So yeah, depending on the matchup here, depending on the lineups, it's going to be a wild time. Also, the dark horse here, Goblin. Shout out to Goblin, by the way. Goblin, he popped off in the European qualifiers. If you missed out, I do recommend the VODs. We were casting every single qualifier live on the channel. European, Asia, Korea, and North America as well, or the Americas. And Goblin, he went beast mode during the qualifiers. It was crazy. Like, again, he made it over some of the other more notable players out there, like Skillus, for example, or Laser, or Spirit Piotr. Like, Goblin, he surpassed them all. Like, Goblin, he popped off during the qualifiers, and we'll see if he can pop off it again. Like, he's been looking really good as of late, and there's a lot of hype around Goblin as well. Likewise, Lemon, also a bit of a darker horse. I will say that Lemon excels in PvP. Like, we've seen Lemon take maps and take it to players like MaxFX, take to players like herO, for example. Like, Lemon has some killer PvP. The other matchups I'm a little bit more concerned about for Lemon, but we'll see. We'll see what he brings to the table. Again, all the players have been preparing for the qualifier, for the global qualifier. And again, that's later on tonight. It's going to be later on tonight here in 10 hours' time. What happened to Lancer? He's already in. Lancer, he's already... So just like here for Showtime is already in the Esports World Cup. So is Lancer. So they're both they don't have to qualify. That's why there's a line through Showtime. There's a line through Lancer. Lambo is the replacement man for Showtime, and Lemon is the replacement man for Lancer. Why is there a line through that? As we mentioned, there's a line through their names because they don't... Technically, they were originally a part of the qualifier, but now they don't have to play. They're already in. They're already in the main event. They're already in Esports World Cup. Showtime, he made it through because of Stars Agora. He did place very, very highly at Stars Agora, and so the qualification spot from Stars Agora went to Showtime. For Lancer, if you recall, Firefly, his spot was taken away from him. Firefly, of course, was it did recently become public that Firefly was involved in match fixing. So Firefly, he has been suspended. Firefly, his slot was taken away from him and given to Lancer instead. So Lancer has the Asia spot. So that's why they have both made it through. Whew. But with that, we are going to be wrapping up. With that, we're going to be wrapping up here for the morning. Again, we have 10 hours until the next cast. All right, sorry. I was meant to get into it. We have our schedule here. So again, in 10 hours time, we're going to be live with the Esports World Cup Global Qualifier Day 1. It's a two-day event. We have it on Saturday and Sunday evening. On top of that, we have Sparkling Tuna Cup, our weekly open tournament. That's going to be on Sunday before EWC. It's going to be a close schedule, but we're going to be casting Sparkling Tuna Cup, then into EWC qualifiers. Meanwhile, tonight we're going to be casting EWC qualifiers into the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit. That's what that is there. Sunday morning at 5 a.m. KST. That's going to be 6 a.m. my time. So very early in the morning after the global qualifiers, bam, the Brazilian circuit. Let's go. That is an offline tournament happening in Brazil. Big offline event. So we're going to be the official English casters for that. So again, back-to-back events, back-to-back StarCraft, a very intense weekend as it always is here on the CranKy Ducklings. When it comes to the remainder of the week, next week coming up, we do have Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup is next week. We haven't even heard announcements of who's really going. I say that we just got an announcement from Streamer Zone. I believe Streamer Zone, they're sending out a lot of their players to Home Story Cup. Outside of that, I don't think we've seen any announcements yet. But yes, Home Story Cup is next weekend, and we will most likely be the casters for that as well. The B stream, the side stream. We've been the B stream for the past like 3 Home Story Cups, so we should be for this one as well. I say should be. I don't have any confirmation. I just reached out yesterday, I think, to the boys to confirm what's going on. So I'm making the assumption there, but probably we will. Again, so probably we're going to be a part of that. So that's going to be next weekend. Likewise, we also have Esports World Cup. That's in 2 weeks. It's crazy, but in 2 weeks time we have the Esports World Cup. We do have permission to co-stream, so we're going to be co-streaming that event as well. We'll be co-streaming on the channel. Oh wait, no, sorry, I said 2 weeks time, my apologies. 2 weeks time, I misread the calendar, is RSL, my apologies. So in 2 weeks, that's the RSL playoffs, and in a month's time, that's Esports World Cup. So my apologies, I misspoke. I saw the wrong event on the thing. So yes, so in 2 weeks is RSL, but in a month's time, that's Esports World Cup. And again, we do have permission to co-stream that, so we're going to be featuring that here on the channel as well. It's going to be a 4-day event, 4 days. So it's still a very intense period here of StarCraft, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. I hope you have a lovely and great weekend. Hope you have a great time. That means 10 hours of ladder. Oh no. Oh no. No shot, no shot. I am gonna go get some breakfast. I'm gonna go get some breakfast, and I do plan on sleeping before, because it's gonna be EWC into the Brazilian circuit. I do plan on sleeping before that, so that's the plan for me at least. Get some food and get some work done. Edit VODs, schedule VODs as well. Do have a lot to catch up on, so that's my plan. That's my plan for the day. I do apologize for not laddering this week. I try to ladder at least once a week. I do try to stream at least once a week. Yeah, there's just been a lot of catching up. Like I'm still so behind because of DreamHack Dallas into Esports World Cup qualifiers. Like we were non-stop casting like 3 times a day every day. Because I did fall behind in regards to scheduling like VODs, so I'm still catching up. I'm still catching up. But next week I should ladder. Should be able to stream, should be able to ladder next week. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great time. If you want to support us, you can do so via following us, !socials in the chat. You can follow us on YouTube. We do stream on a daily basis, and we upload on a daily basis as well, over on YouTube and here on Twitch as well. Likewise, you can also support us via Patreon, !Patreon. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments. Events like Duckling Open, Macedon Open, and Sparkling Tuna Cup. They're all funded via Patreon, and they are all grown via Patreon as well. It is all grassroots StarCraft, and again, our Patreon, 100% of the money goes towards the players. Our next goal is at 500 USD a month. We're almost there. We're almost there, so you can help us reach that goal. If you want to help support StarCraft and the players in the scene, that's a way to do it. It is a way to do it. Our next goal after this one would be where we can start getting paid. That's I believe our next goal after this one is so that we can start paying out admins and casters for these events. But for the time being, for our Patreon, it all goes towards the players. All towards the players. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support, and we'll see you guys in 10 hours for the Esports World Cup qualifier. See you then. See you then. Ciao. Ciao. Hasta luego.